Alright guys, welcome back to learning introductory JavaScript by building a pyramid generator, and this is part of the JavaScript algorithms and data structures on FreeCodeCamp. Consider subscribing and liking the video if you find it helpful. So the example up here for step 50, it says would return Professor Naomi using concatenating. So it says to update our pad row function, which is line 5 through 7, to return a value of concatenating our character variable to the beginning of the name parameter. So over here we're going to return character plus name. So we'll see something like this. So now step 51, it says variables are also declared inside a function. These variables are called local scopes or block scopes. So this means a variable declared inside a function can only be used inside that function. So we cannot use it outside the function. We're gonna get undefined if we do, or an error. So to see this in action, we're gonna use const to declare a test variable in our pad row function. So we could do const, under the return we could do const test is equal, and it says initialize it with the value of testing, string testing. So testing, just like this. So then below our function, we're gonna try to log the test to the console, and we'll see the error that is not defined. It is not defined outside of the function local scope. So under this, console.log test, and we do get a reference error. But if we did the console log inside our pad row function, we call the pad row function, well, we won't see anything because there's a return above the test. So now step 52 says there is a bit of a problem here. Your test declaration is currently after our return statement, which I just said. So a return basically it ends the function. So anything under it won't run. So now we're going to move our test initialization to the line above our statement. So we're going to remove the const test equal to testing, and we're going to put it above our return, just like this. So now step 53, it says if we try to add a console log below our pad row function, we'll see the same error that we did 2 steps ago, because the test is defined in a local scope. So returning a value from the function brings the value into the scope where the function was called. So to bring testing value from the pad row function into a global scope, update our return statement to return only the test variable. So we're going to remove character plus name, and we're going to write test. And we should see testing in the console. So now step 54, it says now our call variable has a value of testing, but our function is no longer using the name parameter. So we're going to remove the name parameter from the function declaration, then remove our camper chant string from the pad row call. So we're going to remove the name from the parameter of the function. So remove that, and we're going to also remove the pad row call variable, just like this. So now step 55, it says go ahead and remove the test declaration from the pad row function, and also remove the return statement. And so that our function is empty again. So we're going to remove everything in our function body, and we're also going to remove the pad row call. So now for step 56 is as expected, your function now returns undefined again. So your call variable is not necessary anymore. So remove all the call declarations and the console logs for the call variable. So we're going to remove both of these on line 8 and 9. Now 57, it says in order to know how to format a row, your pad row function will need to know which row number you are on and how many rows are total are being generated. So the best way to do this is to create a function parameter for them. So we're going to give our pad row function a row number and a row count parameter, just like here in this example. And we could do this, we could use multiple parameters by separating it by a comma. So over here we will have row number, comma, row count. So now step 58, it says, remember in the earlier step we learned about return values. So a function can return a value for the application to consume separately. So in this function, the return keyword is used to specify a return value. So for example, this function below right here will return a value given to the first parameter. So now we're going to use the return keyword to return the value of the character variable and repeat row number times. So we could do return character dot repeat method, and this will be row number times. So now step 59, it says a function call allows you to actually use a function. You may not have been aware of it, but methods like push that you have been using have been called function calls. So a function is called by referencing the function name and adding a parenthesis. Here's how to call the test function, just like before. So we're going to replace the character dot repeat and then parentheses I+1 in our push method call with a function call for your pad row function. So we're going to delete everything inside the rows.push and we're going to call pad row function. So we're going to have parentheses after the pad row, after the function name. So now it says step 60, it says your pad row function has two parameters which you have defined. Values are provided to those parameters when the function is called. So the function you have provided are called a function call or referred to as arguments. And you pass arguments to the function call. Here is a function call with hello passed into the argument. So this is how we would use our parameter arguments. So we're going to pass I+1 and count as arguments to our pad row call. Like parameters, arguments are separated by commas. So basically the pad row call right here, we were going to specify the function arguments. So the first pad row call argument would be the row number and the second will be the row count. So the row number will be I+1. So I+1 and then comma, and we'll move on to the row count, which will be count, just like this. Now step 61 you can see in my next video. Consider subscribing, it would help a lot. Thank you.